Hey, it's Webs here again with another Hearthstone video, and just in time for Halloween, we're visiting a spooky Mercenaries build, aka Shadow Beast. You might be thinking, what is the synergy between Shadow, Synergies, and Beasts? There really isn't. It just gives your opponent a huge shock factor whenever you start out with a bunch of Beast minions and then pivot into the Shadow minions. And that shock value is usually enough to actually win you some games. Also kind of just wanted to get more creative with Mercenaries. It's kind of hard to do so because of how much grinding is needed to actually unlock all the skills needed to make a team fully functional. However, even at like 80% power, this build actually isn't the worst in the world. So let's discuss the units I decided to use in the build and what you equipped each of them with and what are their most important skills. The first unit in the build that I'm using is King Mukla. All three of the skills are actually pretty useful to use with him. However, I would say Primal Power is probably the least useful skill, as it only protects your beast while it's actually attacking, which is a common mistake I kept making early on when playing this build. Though the other two abilities, such as Dinner Time, allows you to protect your other units such as King Krush or Rexxar. And then the basic filler ability that you use is the Banana Frenzy, because it just buffs up King Krush as much as humanly possible and does damage itself. The best equipment to use for King Mukla is Mukla's Big Brother. This is honestly probably not the most important of the Task 7 equipments in this build that you're going to want to have. However, it does help because this synergizes with Rexxar and King Krush, while also providing a taunt to protect all three of your minions. And instead of starting a game with 3 minions, you end up starting the game with 4 minions. The next unit that I'm using in this build is King Krush. Thankfully, for this unit, you don't need a 7 task equipment. You just need Flaming Claws, which is your 2 task equipment. For the skills, you usually, most of the time, use Apex Predator, while sometimes you use Devilsaur to have an extra unit on the board. And most of the time, you don't really ever use Terrify. It just is a worse Apex Predator, since you're not always going to have a bunch of additional beasts on the board. And by the time that you would have access to this on turn 2, King Mukla's Big Brother is probably dead. So you only really get 6 attack instead of 9 attack. King Krush is actually the carry for the first half of the team, so you want to protect him probably the longest. Third unit that you're using is Rexxar. He's the only legendary within the build, and he's honestly is important for the first half of the build. Mama Bear Claws, which is also sadly a 7 task equipment, is kind of necessary to make this work. It's probably the thing that you want to upgrade the first instead of anything else he has. Then the second thing you want to upgrade is probably the healing command, as for the first half of the game, this will be where most of your damage comes from. You can upgrade the animal companions, but you're not always using animal companion. You're just using it to put out a taunt sometimes, depending on the matchup. And then explosive shot is probably the skill that I use the least when using Rexxar. Alright, time for the second half of the build. So for Vol'jin, you really need the Ring of Haste. This is the most important equipment for the second half of the team, as it'll allow you to use all your shadow skills quicker than most of the other builds in the meta. That's what makes this build kind of strong. The skills that I rely on the most to actually use is the Curse of Weakness, as it combos off with the Tamsin and the Natalie. Shadow Surge is also another good skill to upgrade if you have the choice to. And then Shadow Shock is honestly something that I very rarely ever use in a game versus another player. It exists just to exist. And the next unit that I use is Natalie, which is honestly a really big powerhouse for the build, as it really combos off really well with Vol'jin. If you can get her 7 task equipment unlocked, you can switch between healing all your units for 30 plus, or doing around 30 plus damage to all your opponent's minions, which is incredibly strong to actually do. And this is probably more important of a unit to have in the build than something like Tamsin. The skill that Shadow Beam is also useful. I usually don't ever use Light Beam because I don't always have Benediction equipped. It's usually the other one, which does the increased shadow damage. So this usually never really comes up, and that's why when this turns into Benediction, I almost always instantly use it. The next unit I use is Tamsin, as it lets you have the Veil of Shadows, which is really good and probably the thing you want to upgrade first for this build. And then you also have Shadow Bolt, which is a quick skill, so you can combo it off with Vol'jin's second skill that does additional damage once it's a shadow combo. For the equipment, it doesn't honestly matter too much which one of these that you use. I like the Last Rites just because it's easy to get, and it gives you an additional unit so you can stall out better. And I know I don't actually use this unit in this build, however, I think it's worth mentioning that Gruul right now is actually really strong because of the Cairn Diablo combination. I was just too lazy to actually unlock his Task 7 equipment. If you can get this fully upgraded, you basically counteract Diablo plus Cairn, which is great, and you'll actually win a lot more games. In this build, if you were going to replace a unit, replace Tamsin with Gruul so you can have a better win rate. However, I couldn't be bothered with trying to unlock this. Gruul's tasks are kind of annoying to actually finish off. And Gruul as a unit actually, besides that, isn't really that strong overall. No one's really running any dragons, so until that's the case, he's just an anti-Diablo combo unit. With that being said, let's find some games. Alright, so you're always going to want to start off with the Beast combo. There's no reason to break up these 3 units. So we're going to want to deal with the Samuro first because he's the unit that will do the most damage. You're not always going to want to attack with the big brother because sometimes you actually kind of want to save him for an additional turn. But in this matchup in particular, the Samuro is probably going to kill the big brother anyway, so we might as well attack with him. Yeah, they're just going to focus down the big brother. We should be able to kill the Samuro though in this turn. Not going to even reorder because there's no purpose to. So we're going to want to kill Cairn now for the second target. And we're going to want to buff up King Krush to hopefully, and I mean hopefully, do a bunch of damage to Cairn. And it looks like we're actually going to be able to do that. Though that probably should have done double the damage, I thought. Huh. Weird. Oh wait, no. It's a fire unit. I'm dumb. Okay. We're gonna play a taunt. We're gonna do a rush. And then we're gonna eat some bananas. Gonna start with the Natalie first, just so we can have some type of healer. Gonna try to keep our King Krush alive this turn. Or not, I guess. Gonna play Vol'jin. Gonna get a taunt back. AoE everything. At least we should be able to kill the Cairn here. So we won't have to deal with the Diablo Cairn combo. However, I don't know if we can actually win this just because of how far behind we are. I think they're 1 unit ahead of us. Let's kill the Zyrilla next and heal up as much as possible. Oh wait, they don't have Diablo. So their last unit must be Lich King? No, Gruul. Okay, that's different. Not actually what I expected, but okay. Actually, let's... How much damage? 16 damage. Never mind, let's just kill this. I was trying to see if it would be smarter to kill, like, all the units or just focus down on 2. Okay, we need the taunt. We need this. That's not a shadow skill, is it? No, okay. Maybe we can still win this. We'll do that. This, and this. Oh shit, we did! Okay, that's interesting. A all blue team for once. I don't actually know what this is. In theory, we should have a really good matchup against them. Is it just Holy? Is that the answer? Just Holy? Huh. Well, I guess kill Anduin first? Because if we can get Anduin off board, sure, the other ones can heal or be annoying. What the hell is the other half of the team? There aren't 6 holy units, are there? At least not 6 holy units that are blue, right? Oh, I should have moved this over. Is it Shadow too? Shadow holy? That'd be an interesting build. I don't have Anduin, so I can't actually do it if I wanted to. It is Shadow or holy. That's different. I don't know how to feel about this one. Come on. Every time. We're gonna play Natalie. I'm just not gonna deal with that. Let's get rid of Vol'jin after Vol'jin. That's a cool idea though. I do have half of the units already. I just need the Anduin. Maybe I could try something like this out. Though we are going to have to kill the Tasman before Vol'jin now. Gonna heal. Actually going to spawn another unit. Just 10 extra damage seems like a good idea. I don't think this build is good. It's cool. It's unique. It's the most interesting thing that I've seen in recent time in this stupid game mode, but I don't think Shadow Holy works. At least not well. Maybe if you had everything leveled up it could work, but I don't know. I'm guessing the last one's going to be... oh, it doesn't even matter. We won't... Alright, we just need to find one game where they're either A, not playing Diablo, or B, I actually remember about Diablo's equipment. I think this build would be actually very much better off if I actually wasn't lazy to level up Gruul. And it's nature? Normally I'd go for the Malfurion. I love that artwork, by the way. But let's just focus down the Broken. Or the Brucon. I think this is the one deck where going for Brucon first actually works out just because you have so many green units. There we go. We dealt with that already. Do I want our healer or do I just want extra onboard presence? Let's heal. And then we'll put him over there. There's Cairn. We're going to need to kill that Malfurion soon, though.
Rise against you.
Oh, the good news is we can kill using Vol'jin, I guess. Pretty sure our shadow skills are going to be quicker than their nature skills. Actually, let's put in our taunt out here. Yeah, we are quicker. I'm kind of worried that one of those is going to be Diablo, though. And we have no way to deal with it. Of course. Let's kill that. That's a 3, that's a 1. Oh, we should be able to kill Karen. Or not. Oh, right. Though we didn't heal, so we don't have an AoE. No, we're putting a taunt out, we're healing, and then we're making this slower. This is the only way we can win. If we can kill Diablo before, we're not going to be able to. Oh, actually, we're okay. Let's put in our taunt, heal, and then slow Diablo. Oh, we're not. I mean, we can still kill Diablo, I guess. It's going to be harder to kill him, but just want to make sure we kill him before we get screwed over. And we'll just win, I guess. There's actually nothing they can do here. Overall, I would say this build was actually pretty enjoyable to play. However, with Diablo being as prevalent as he is right now, I don't think, unless you have Gruul, that it's actually a winning combination, which is kind of sad to state. But I don't really think many builds that don't run Diablo and Karen right now are going to actually hold up to the meta. So if you liked the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, bye bye.